All right, grade 10s, now into English. Can you guys give me those green check marks to let me know that you are back, you're ready to go, and start fresh with English 10 this morning? This is hard for me to switch gears this fast, you guys. Now I know how you guys feel. All right, so give me those green check marks if there, you guys. Anthony, Kaylin, Ian, Jeremy, Jesse, just so I know that you're with me and you're good to go. I think Costin still might be at ortho, I'm thinking. But Jesse and Jeremy, Anthony, if you're there, give me those green check marks, you guys. So last day in English, you guys, we talked about and you guys brainstormed that one moment in your life, that defining moment, right? That we are going to take now, and we talked about the imagery behind that, developing that language around imagery to start expanding our vocab and putting it into the written word. All right, now is our time where we're actually going to do our rough draft of our descriptive paragraph around that brainstorm that you guys worked on last day. Okay, so that's where we're heading for today's lesson. So here's our learning targets for this morning, and hopefully we can get done today, you guys. Again, you might have a little bit of homework because we did a little bit more planning than I anticipated, but that's okay. We're gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna be flexible today. Okay, so here's your learning targets for this morning. Basically, what I'm telling you guys is you're going to write a rough draft. Can you refine and assess? We're going to come up with some criteria around what makes a great descriptive paragraph. And basically, I'm going to give you a strategy, a reading strategy to help you when you're reading a piece of text. Okay? So that's kind of where we're heading this morning. So just to get your brains into English mode and away from developing a website mode, okay, we're going to read an article on description and why it's important. Okay, so in the English Moodle shell, you guys, you will find in the assignment, I believe it's called Descriptive Paragraph Rough Draft. Okay, I've opened it up. You should see a download button where you should download an article about description. Now, the easiest way to do it, again, you guys, is to print off so that you can mark it up while you're reading. If you can't, that's okay. You may have to just come up with some different alternatives for the strategy that I'm going to give you. Okay, you may, instead of using shapes and symbols, you may have to use color codes, something like that, or if you're going to read off the screen. Okay, but what I want you to do is use this strategy while you're reading the article. If you read something that you completely agree with, fantastic point. I agree with this wholeheartedly. Give it a check mark right on the text. Give it a check mark. Okay. If you read something that confuses you, you're like, I don't really get this, right? Give it a question mark. Okay. If it seems really important in your head, you're like, this seems like a really important part to the article. This seems like a big idea. Give it a star. Okay. If you come across a new piece of information that you've never thought of before, you've never heard of before, give it an exclamation point. And if there's any words that you don't know, put a box around the word. Okay. So this is just a strategy to help you guys read, okay, to comprehend, to understand the text. Because then when we go back and discuss it, it reminds you, oh, right, I didn't think about that, right? It's going to deepen your thinking around the text, okay? Now, the article is about, I think it's 7 or 8 pages. Might be shorter. I can't remember, you guys. So I'm going to give you about 20 minutes to read the article, use this strategy, and then we'll come back as a class to quickly discuss and share some ideas around the article. Okay, so you've got about 20 minutes. Again, hopefully you can finish, but if you can't, please Don't worry, okay? We're just delving in. I want you to practice this strategy, okay? So go ahead. You've got 20 minutes to read the article. All right, go ahead, you guys. All right, you guys, that was 20 minutes. Can you come back into Blackboard, ladies and gentlemen? Give me those green check marks. And as you're doing that, can you just let me know, did you finish the article? Do you still need more time? Give me a little note into the room chat, whether or not that was enough time for you guys to read that article, and if it was okay for you. Good. Okay. Good. Perfect. Emery. Okay, Jeremy. Are you almost done it though, Jeremy? Like, give me a time. How much more time do you need? Emery, Eric, Ian, Jesse, how are you guys doing? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Jesse. All right, so let's take you guys 5 more minutes. Okay, I know most of you guys are done. You get a little break. Okay, so 5 more minutes because I do want everyone to finish and respect that everyone does have different reading times and processing speeds. Okay, so let's 5 more minutes. Okay, and then we'll reconvene and come on back. All right, so go ahead and take another 5 minutes for the. All right, perfect. So I hope now that you guys had that extra 5 minutes that you finished off that article using this strategy that I gave you. So please give me those green check marks, you guys, so that I know you're back in. So Emery, Eric, Jesse, if you finished off the article, fantastic. Give me those green check marks, you guys. And we will move on to what I actually want to do with this article. Okay, so we're going to do actually a quick little think, pair, share. And I mean quick, because we are down to about 20 minutes left in English, you guys. So there's a couple things that I'm going to cut out of this lesson, and we'll start with it next day in English for sure. But I want to continue on the idea with this article around description and why it's important in your writing. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Jesse. Okay, so what is that big idea from this article? So let's quickly pair up in Blackboard. Okay, and you guys can, I'll give you 2 minutes to just chat with a partner. What do you think the big idea from the article is? What was the theme of the article? What was the author really trying to get across to you guys as an audience? Okay, so can we please go, Anthony and Kaylin, if you guys can partner up. Christina and Connor, partner up, please. Emery and Eric, partner up. Ian and Jaden. Jenna and Jeremy. Jesse and... Oh, Jesse, are you in twice? Let's go Jesse and Jonah. And I don't believe Costin is here, you guys, so let's go Leeds and Madison. You guys partner up, okay? So let's take 2 minutes and discuss with your partner what do you believe the big idea from the article is, okay? You guys got 2 minutes. Be ready to share to the room. Good, you guys. I still see the chat going there, so I do want to make sure you're finishing off your thoughts, okay? I want to make sure that you guys are getting that big idea. And just from reading what you guys are chatting about, it's good. Good. Excellent. So now what I want to do, you guys, as you're finishing off your chat with your partner, into the room chat, okay? What I'd like you to do now is now share what you discussed with your partner into the room chat so that everyone can see where everyone was at within the article. Great. All right. So take a minute and in the room chat, just type in what's the big idea from this article. Okay. What's the big idea? So I'm just going to get the room chat up and running here for you guys to see what everyone says. And there we go. So take a minute, you guys, and type into the room chat the big idea of the article. Awesome, you guys. Fantastic. I still see the chat going on, so please finish off your thoughts. But what you guys are typing so far is exactly the big idea, right? Exactly, Jenna, and that's why we created that triple scoop word wall, right? For Padlet. So that's another resource that you guys have from that last class to go back, right? Instead of using the word hot, could you use scorched or whatever it is that you guys are doing, right? Absolutely. And just tying it back into that imagery lesson that we did last day, exactly what Jesse's saying, right? When you're writing something, you want to evoke that emotion through the images that you're creating for your audience. Okay, that's really, really important when you're trying to write something very descriptive. Okay, so good. You guys definitely understood the main theme or the big idea of that article. Absolutely. Okay, so now where I want to head, you guys, I'm just going to bring up my PowerPoint back up here. Okay, so you definitely got the big idea. Now what this is one of the things I'm going to skip, you guys, because we can actually start with this next day. Okay, so here we go. Basically for homework, you guys, okay, now is the time where I want you guys to come up with your rough draft of your descriptive paragraph, okay? Now, I love this analogy in writing a paragraph. I'm sure some of you may have heard this analogy already, but it's such a great one to think of, okay? So when you're writing a paragraph, you gotta think of it like a hamburger, okay? The top of the bun is gonna be your topic sentence. What is that paragraph going to be about? It's that opening sentence, it's your hook, it's what draws that reader in, okay? And then all your toppings, your lettuce, your cheese, your pickles, your condiments, the meat, right? All of that, those are your supporting sentences. Those are your details to support your main idea, all right? And then your bottom bun is what puts it all together. Okay, it's that concluding sentence. So in a paragraph, especially at a grade 10 level, you guys, you should be writing at least, between 7 to 10 sentences per paragraph. Okay, so that's where you want to kind of aim. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not about you guys counting sentences. Okay, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. If you're writing me a fantastic descriptive paragraph in only 5 sentences, great, okay? It's about the quality of your sentences. So now your task is to take that brainstorm that you did last class around that one defining moment in your life, right? Remember we talked about what were you thinking, what did you see, what did you smell, what did you say, right? All those emotions and the imagery that it creates. Now it takes the time to wrap that all together. Use the triple scoop word wall that we developed, right? With all the different words. Instead of using those boring words, try some unique words, okay? Throw them into your paragraph, okay? This is a rough draft, okay? It's just a rough draft, all right? So that's where I want you guys for homework. And we're not going to do that yet. We'll do that next class, so I'm going to keep this slide up. All right? That is what you need to do for homework. Next class, you need to have your rough draft ready for next class, because then we're going to co-construct some criteria around what makes a great descriptive paragraph, and you're going to go back and do some editing. And now that we know what a good paragraph should look like, how are we going to assess ourselves? Okay, so that is English for today, you guys. You need to have your rough drafts ready to go for Thursday. Okay, so if you are clear, please give me a green check mark in Blackboard. You are clear on your task for what you need to accomplish for English is today. Good. As I see the sea of green check marks. If you have any questions or concerns, okay, please do not hesitate to message me in Moodle. Okay, let me know what your issue is. Okay, if you're having a tough time. Those of you who weren't here last class, please go back to the previous assignment and you'll see what the brainstorm should look like. Okay, so now, Jonah, I can't remember in the assignment whether I'm getting you guys to hand in your rough drafts or not. I think I am. I'm not completely sure. So make sure you review the assignment, you guys. And let's actually do it really quickly right now, since we do have still about 5 minutes. Let's go back and review the assignment, because honestly, you guys, I can't remember if I'm having you guys do. Just let me get into English here. Oh, and look. Here we go. So when I'm in the assignment, I can tell you right away. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have you guys submit this. So yes, I do want to see your rough draft. So let's see what I say, you guys. Once you're, you are going to be submitting this, but not today, okay, Jonah? Because it's not quite done yet. There's a specific one more step that I want you to do before you submit the rough draft. All right? So just have a rough draft ready to go next class. You don't have to submit anything today, you guys. Okay? It'll be next class when you submit it. All right? So if you're clear on expectations, you guys, what you need to accomplish today, go ahead. You are done. You are free to go. Fantastic classes this morning, ladies and gentlemen. And we will see you guys on Thursday. All right? Okay? Bye, guys.